Welcome to the In My Humble Opinion podcast, a podcast that looks to discuss a number of topics that sometimes create more questions than answers. The views and opinions expressed by the presenters are their own and can be assured are utterly and woefully misinformed. If you like explicit content and naive ignorance, then please enjoy at your own risk. Conspiracies again?
Like, and go back on
It's not fucking Hogwarts. What's wrong with you? Hello, and welcome to In My Humble Opinion. I'm Rob,
I'm Paul.
and welcome to this week's episode. Today we're going to be talking about conspiracies again. We've run out of ideas, haven't we? We're recycling, rehashing old shit.
Yeah, we do love to just touch back on some of the stuff that we've
Yeah.
done before. It's more touching back on it, not the fact we've run out of ideas, but it is.
Well, yeah, I feel that we left out some massive conspiracy theories in our last episode, and this week I think we're going to go deep and hard in some that we shouldn't maybe talk about too
Ooh.
often, and is a little bit taboo almost.
Wow, shit.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm very
So,
excited about this. Yeah.
excited about this one?
Oh, so Rob, okay, all right. I don't know if our viewers know or have noticed that you're actually going to be presenting this episode. I like your intro. It was a lot more exuberant than my usual one, that's for sure.
Was it? That's me like mocking your intro.
It is a little bit, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, but you love it. We love it. They will love it.
Mm.
Yeah, no, you, to the listeners, to the audience, to our humblees, Paul has been crying for weeks that, oh, I do all the work, I do all the hosting, you do one. And I'm like, yeah, all right. Standard. I'll slay one out. And no, actually, I hate doing this. I'm massively out of my comfort zone. Cheers for that. And he just wants to see me squirm.
This is
Yeah,
true.
basically, Paul didn't want to research any like new conspiracy theories or anything like that because he did all the hard work in the last one. And I thought I'll give it a go.
Yeah, I've done my bit. Yeah, it's your turn now.
Yeah, because you did the soft and cuddly ones, and I'll do the horrible, dirty ones.
All right, I'm very interested to see what these are. Jesus Christ, okay. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
conspiracies again. I love it.
Yeah. Right, so the first one, we're going to go in soft. We're going to go nice and gentle. This one is something that's been happening a lot recently. So since the 2010s, I reckon. There's kind of been whispers about this kind of thing forever, but recently, since 2010, it's really picking up stink. And that is celebrity replacements.
Ooh, I've heard a little bit about this.
Music in there.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll get some music.
You will. I'm in charge here, so.
These are like just standard, your bog standard celebrities, and all of a sudden, elaborate for me.
They've
Yeah,
been replaced. Well, I've got a couple of different examples. I'm sure most of them people would have heard of, but I'm just going to a little bit deeper.
All right.
In the year 2000, do you remember the year 2000?
I do. I remember it fondly.
Yeah, the millennium bug.
Yep.
The world was going to end.
Yeah, fretting. Yeah. Oh,
fretting,
the fear.
Worried. Yeah. Do you know what did end?
What?
Beyonce's life.
Beyonce.
Beyonce categorically apparently died in the year 2000. Right, so and she was replaced with a woman called Queen Bey. Queen Bey? B-E-Y.
Oh,
Queen
okay.
Bey.
Queen, like Beyonce, like her nickname.
Oh fuck, that's what it is, isn't it? Is that what it is?
She's like nickname? It's like a persona. So I guess she was kind of
right.
She left Destiny's Child around that year.
Yeah, no scrubs. Right.
That's TLC.
What did
This
she
is why
do?
you don't
Who the
research.
fuck? Yeah, I don't do this shit. Who's
I-
Destiny's Child? What did they do then?
They did like I'm a survivor. I'm gonna go get it. I don't know if that's a word, but
I'm gonna go get it.
I'm gonna go get
What are
it.
they going to go and
I
get?
don't know. Some
I'm a
independence.
survivor. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, they survived. They're getting it. They're
All
getting.
right.
I don't know, survival, like Bear
Yeah.
Grylls. No, Queen
The-
Bay is or B or whatever
yeah. Well,
is
Queen
like a
Bee. Yeah.
solo career. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. That's who it was. But Beyonce died. All right.
Okay, she did.
In the year 2000. So shut your mouth. So there were a lot of rumors around why this happened. A lot of it is because she was becoming like in the year 2000 there was like a shift, a political shift of female empowerment. So finally women weren't just doing the whole Spice Girls women empowerment where they're like, yeah, girl power in your little slutty clothes to try and impress men. It wasn't about that. It was actual embodiment of powerful women,
Like
and she was
girl
becoming
bosses.
one.
Yeah.
Girl bosses, yeah. I love a girl boss. They're my
Yeah.
favourite bosses.
Powerful women.
Yeah, so that was coming up, and there was a lot of things do suggest that the Masons,
Oh yeah.
the Masons, the big bad boys club that would like obviously rule in the world, but only allowed men into it.
True.
Were like, no, we're not having this. We're not having some. We're not going to have this black powerful woman coming up and like trying to eat at our table. So they killed her off apparently and replaced her with this alter ego or whatever and called her Queen Bee. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
And then
So
all of her stuff apparently has become softer since then. It fucking hasn't, in my
no,
opinion.
no.
No. She wants to kill men even more.
She's become a super, like, mega global superstar. So they
Yeah.
replaced Beyonce with somebody even better that
Yeah.
actually personifies like girl boss energy even
Yeah.
more.
Exactly. Like gets the whole world on her side. And now, like so before they were like, oh, she's a danger to men. But this new Beyonce, this is the Beyonce that kicked the shit out of her other half in the lift.
Oh yeah.
Like she's an
Yeah.
actual physical danger to men
Okay.
now. But they've made it worse.
She's like Jack 2 from Tekken 3. Take that, Jay-Z.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
it's
wow.
Jay-Z, isn't it? I was
Well,
trying to remember who it
yeah.
is.
Color me
Yeah.
surprised. Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
about Beyonce. There's
No,
some that I have heard
Beyonce.
of, but not Sasha
Ah.
Fierce herself. No,
Who?
don't worry.
Oh, okay. Right. Next on my list, you probably have heard of this one
Okay.
because you have probably paid attention to the messages that I was putting in my humble opinion, WhatsApp group, which I told
Yes.
you not to look at. And that is Avril Lavigne.
Avers, yeah.
Good old Avers. So, when
He
did
was a
she
boy, she was a girl. Could I make
She
it
was
any more
dead.
obvious?
No, those aren't the words. He was a boy, she was a girl. Not she was a boy, she was a girl.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
It's 2024, Rob. Who are you labeling?
Yeah. You're labeling Avril Lavigne.
Oh,
She's
obviously.
dead. Avril Lavigne
I've
died in
heard
20.
I have heard
Yeah.
this one. Yeah. She's been gone for a long time, replaced with
Yeah.
a doppelganger. Yeah.
Called Melissa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, if you will cast your eyes over document.
Court.
Yeah.
Document
So-
747.
I've been watching Line of Duty hard, man. Like,
This is-
I'm part of AC fucking 12, I can say that. Yeah, so Avril Lavigne died in 2003. This was first introduced to us from a Brazilian fan page. Started the rumours that she used a body double called Melissa.
Okay.
And you're like, right, okay. Don't know how she died. She probably just, I don't know, freak skateboarding accident or some shit. But if you look at this photo, can you see it?
Yes, I can see
What's
the
that
picture.
written on her hand?
Okay, to the listeners, it looks like Avril Lavigne, but on her hand it says the word Melissa.
Can you believe it? Yeah. Like, let's really look into this carefully. It's a capital M, a small E, a capital L, and the rest of the letters are capital. but the E is small. So this symbolizes clearly to this Brazilian man that she died in 2003. I don't know where the fuck they get off that. There's like loads of photos. I have quite a few photos of her
I bet you
in
do.
in this
Before
but
researching.
yeah, graphic researching. And he's like, this guy's like, yeah, but look how different she is here and here. And I'm like, yeah, because that's time.
Yeah, it's
Like,
the passage of time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I, I had a Facebook fucking memory pop up the other day of me when I went to like Liverpool to see the Cavern pub where the Beatles played. I had like fucking hair down to here. It was bright red and black. I couldn't grow any facial hair, and I was about 8 stone. Like,
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, time is time. Yeah. Plus, in her, like, because she's a celebrity, she might have had a bit of work here, a bit of work there. In all honesty, I've seen pictures of Avril Lavigne recently. She's making a slight resurgence, being slightly popular again. She doesn't look too different at all. She had quite
No.
recognizable features. She had a good nose. I remember that. It was a nice nose.
Right, anyway, so Avril Lavigne died, replaced with a girl called Melissa. Fuck
What
knows why.
purpose? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like what's the message? Why? Why have you done
if
that?
it's if a celebrity dies, and we'll
Yeah.
take case in point Michael Jackson to tie back into the previous one, right?
Yeah.
He even though he supposedly died, he wasn't replaced with anybody to continue on with his music. His music probably made more money that he was now dead. So if
Yeah.
Avril died, her record sales would have gone through the roof. So what's the point in it?
Yeah, exactly. What is the point? And then what's the point in her like staying alive and then marrying what's his name from Nickelback?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
what
Chad
what
Kroger.
yeah, what a kick in the teeth. Oh, by the way, we killed you and now you're married to him.
Yeah,
But it's like a double death.
yeah, it is. It's horrible.
Be my ears. Look, I can't remember the Spider-Man song. Anyway, moving on to the next one. I've got another one here.
Okay, another celebrity death.
Miley Cyrus.
Really?
Yeah.
Hannah Montana herself.
Well, this is it. This is the thing.
Oh,
This one, I don't believe this shit at all. Of course I don't, because again, it's like too much effort. But this one, there's actual there's something there that I'm like, ooh, yeah, delicious.
okay.
So she died in 2010.
Oh, so quite recently then.
Quite recently, yeah. And I think, well, it wasn't quite, it's like 14 years ago. It's fucking mental, isn't it? Shush.
2010 was like a couple of years ago, surely.
Are you Googling it?
Maybe.
14 years
How
ago.
long? Okay, all right, okay. Because
So Wrecking Ball came out that year, didn't it?
it came out in 2013. I just Googled it. Yeah.
I see.
Start of her solo career, I would say, as in its like starting.
Well, during that time in 2010, that's when she started going off the fucking rails. When she started getting all smacked up and shit. She was just having a good fucking time. She was like, I'm not Hannah Montana anymore. No, I'm Miley Cyrus. Getting some dick.
like the Disney Clubhouse effect, like those celebrity kids that had great careers, going places. As soon as they leave Disney, dick and coke. That's all they wanted.
Yeah, dick and coke. And it was Disney that she worked for, remember? Yeah. So yeah, she started leaking nudes, smoked salvia. Still not really sure what that is.
That's weed. She
smoked
green herbs.
Ooh, time. She was smoking a roast dinner.
Smoked roast dinner. God.
So yeah, she was just generally, and I've written in my notes, being a fucker. But she was just being a fucker.
Okay.
Disney
reckless
weren't really happy about this, because on Disney shows they've got the equivalent of Gold, where you can rewatch the same program over and over again.
Yeah.
If we want to watch Recess, we can watch that now. We can go back and watch it. If we want to watch Hannah Montana, we can go back and watch that now. But now, in 2010, it would have been smited with her bad reputation of her smoking a joint with tattoos, leaking nudes,
Yeah.
skinner her. So Disney killed her.
Disney.
Disney killed her.
She got
Yeah.
so reckless. Disney,
Yeah.
like from the head
Killed her.
office, Mickey Mouse was like, "Do it," and that was it. Like the action was.
Steamboat Willie.
I don't know if I can do it. Like,
Anyway, so they killed her, but they didn't only kill her because she's still knocking about now, isn't she? They cloned her, and they made a new one that went against her sordid years.
okay,
Thus, the one that they've created now. Yeah.
okay.
So
I
she
mean,
started behaving herself during Wrecking Ball and stuff. That doesn't really add up, does it? Because when she did the Wrecking Ball, she just had her fucking rat out. Every like, do you know what I mean? She had a rat out. She was twerking all day. She was doing all that sort of stuff, getting tattoos like a drunk sailor.
I mean,
Like,
the conspiracy doesn't lend itself to any sort of like reality there because people do go off the rails, but they do have like rehab centers and redemption. Like they will then be like, "Ah, it's got too much. Like the press is really on my back about all this. I'm better now. Like get off my
yeah.
back a bit." But secretly, behind closed doors, they're still flashing their rat and doing all this.
Still do the Tiger Woods. Yeah, so that's like celebrity replacement ones. So, right, if we're going along the lines of you're being really naughty and you're damaging like a brand, so you're dead, we'll clone you and make you better.
Yeah.
There are a couple that I've thought, why didn't they do that for these guys then?
Oh,
Right?
okay, all right.
So
This is Rob's alternative, like
yeah.
celebrity cloning. Okay.
Rob's alternate celebrity cloning.
But Motley Crue, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just bin them off and be like, right, okay, yeah, let's make them into like the fucking Beach Boys. Do you know what I mean? Even though they loved crack, actually, the Beach Boys loved a bit of crack and
They were
everything,
the
didn't
originators of crack loving beach bumming.
they? Yeah. You'd have like just a whole band of the Osmonds, wouldn't you?
Love that. Nikki
Yeah.
Sticks as the Oz. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey,
Kinda
I'm
looks
gonna
as
fuck
if
Pamela Anderson. I'm gonna get baptized.
Sweet cherry pie is actually about a delicious cherry pie, and not
From
like
the
some hot
church.
girl's fanny.
Yeah, another one would be like Ozzy Osbourne. He didn't try to kill the bat. He tried to resuscitate it. Like, you'd spin it, wouldn't you?
Give it a spin, yeah.
Prince, David Bowie. Do you know what I mean? All these like
Bring
legends.
those guys back, yeah.
So, what do you think?
I
Believe
like
in it?
I like it. I don't believe it. No, I feel like this is.
I let myself down there.
The conspiracy's great. I love it. I've seen how far people go into it, and mainly through the Avril Lavigne thing. Like people finding very loose connections that Avril had a mole in this like episode
Yeah.
of Smash Hits like poll winners party, but then like later on the mole's on the other side, like
Oh,
no.
no. That's just mirrors and cameras.
Did you?
Photography.
There's one famous one. I don't know if you've pulled out.
About Britney Spears.
No, not Britney. No, it's McCartney.
Oh yeah. But that's just I can't do one about him. I can't take the piss out of him. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Because
Like,
that mystery goes deep, like because it all goes into the Beatles' new, it's in their songs, like it's on their album covers and stuff. Yeah.
How that when you like John Lennon says I buried Paul in one of his songs. And if you like play some of their songs backwards, it says all this shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, no.
They're all
Stop
like,
it.
playback's like Paul McCartney stole the ham. That's why I had to do it.
Paul McCartney wouldn't let anyone else do anything ever, so we offed him.
He didn't even play the bass. No, he played a banjo with rubber bands on it. Yeah.
Paul McCartney killed John Lennon, so. But I'm John Lennon, and I'm saying this currently.
We killed each other, lol. But yeah, no, like I don't believe that. I believe that obviously, like you said, passages of time, celebrities go through their own secretive lives. They go rehab and stuff like this, and they come out slightly different.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
Plastic surgery,
Yeah,
age,
I can't believe this is
time,
a
the
conspiracy.
gym, clothing.
I like the idea of it though, like to think, oh, let's pull out this really obscure person from the 90s, like I don't know, the fat guy from NSYNC, and just like say, has anybody seen him recently? He's dead. That's why he's dead.
They've cloned him.
Cloned. Now he works at a fucking like a Walmart. There he is.
He's slinging hot dogs on 49th Street.
There he is. AJ,
I have no idea what any of what I just said meant.
No, it
Yeah.
was a perfectly coherent sentence. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. No, we're doing another one that everyone's going to be familiar with. Like, this is probably the biggest one that anyone ever fucking talks about.
Okay.
It's the moon landing, isn't it?
Ooh,
Yeah.
we're gonna do this.
Well, we're going to do it as much as I've researched for it.
Right, okay.
Because every now and then I just kind of get distracted when I'm researching and like I just don't care enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on your laptop or your phone, you suddenly drift over to a different site, and
Silly, yeah. Right, so here we go. So moon landing. There's quite a bit of evidence to suggest to people that want to see it that it was fake. All right,
okay, yeah.
Exhibit 21F7Z.
Okay.
Right. Do you see this picture?
Okay, Robbie showed me a picture of what appears to be the moon and a shadow of one of the astronauts. A photo being taken, so you can just see the shadow on the surface of the moon. Yeah.
What else? There's two shadows.
Oh, that long.
Oh,
pole
right. Okay.
shadow.
Yeah. Maybe not in the picture. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe if I show you the whole picture.
Yeah. Thank you. So
Right.
okay. Yeah. I can see it like a pole.
Yeah. So two different shadows. But if you look at the actual shadows, they are not parallel to reflect one individual light source behind it,
Yep.
which
Okay.
would be the sun. Okay. So
Yes.
it's suggested that there are actually more than one light source there to cast different shadows in different directions. Right? Does that make sense? You following me?
I do follow it. So okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because there's in the
So-
same space, two
Yeah.
physical items cannot
Mm.
cast different directed shadows if
That's
there
it.
is one light source
One
behind
light
it.
source. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the shadows, in theory, would have to be parallel, right?
Correct.
Correct. So loads of people are like, oh, they're not parallel. That fucking pole thing or whatever the fuck it is, that's not even. They're like, yeah, they're just saying they're not parallel. But let's actually like really think about it. This is perspective. Isn't
Okay.
it?
Yes. Yes,
Like-
it is.
Artists have used perspective forever to cast off the shadow to a different length or different situation to deem different length and depth of field, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, you've got like this astronaut, whoever the fuck it is probably Neil Armstrong with YOLO. He's obviously closer or further away from the light source than that pole. That pole to me is probably the top of the moon landing thingy, isn't it?
Quite possibly. Yes. Quite
And that's
possibly.
probably further away, so closer to the light source.
It looks like it's
So-
casting a longer shadow. Yes.
Yeah, so therefore it's not going to be parallel anyway, is it?
Well, saying that, the theory that it should still show a similar line, like a plane towards a singular point, it does need to.
But it would, wouldn't it?
But the point is in the distance. The point is in the distance. So in terms of the picture, like I can see why people may have said that.
Yeah, you can see why, but you know they're wrong.
Yeah,
Because...
they landed on it.
Right. Yeah, and anyway, yeah, so the argument for it is that, well, it's just taken at a different distance. And also the aperture speed, it could be that it was a long focus photo, and also the fact that it's the fucking moon and not
Yes.
Earth.
Yes.
So there's different like diameter to the moon. And it also does look like they are not they're not on a flat surface.
Correct. No, the
So
moon.
you see, there's like a
There's recesses,
gradient.
dips, gradient. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it could very well be that whatever is cast in the longer shadow is actually at a lower depth
Level.
field. So therefore, and then the shadow would have to go over a ridge and then come back down a ridge to cast down, so to knock it off. That's just fucking science now.
It is science. So yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess the shadows and like from the photos of the moon landing, the shadows have been a big question of, genuine aspect. But
also, nothing with photos. Have a look at this one.
Okay, so Rob showed me
You've
a
seen this
photo
one before. Everyone
of.
has.
Oh, it's the guy. Yeah, he's one of the. It's an astronaut. It's on the moon. You can see this space in the background, and the guy's on the moon. He's just carrying some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of the focus on this photo is the fact that the sky, so the black, is completely black. There are no stars. There's not a single light source there. There really isn't. There genuinely isn't a single light source. So they're saying like, well, there's no stars in the sky and whatnot. I can understand it.
Yeah.
Because if we're on Earth and we look up and see the black sky and we see stars, right?
Yeah.
And then if we don't see stars, we're like, oh well, it's because of our atmosphere, fucking clouds and shit. On the moon, Correct. They don't have that apparently, right? So you can understand that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then what we really need to kind of understand is when during the day on Earth, the sky is blue. Why?
Yes. Because the sun is facing the Earth and it goes through our atmosphere, and essentially just causes light.
Well, the sun comes through our atmosphere, doesn't it? But the sky is blue. The sky isn't actually blue. The sky is blue because of a reflection from the oceans, from the water.
Yeah.
So then we see that it's blue. So we know it's daytime. The sky is blue, and we can't see the stars because they're all asleep because it's daytime.
Yeah.
Right? If it's that photo was actually taken during daytime on the moon, obviously the sky is never ever going to be any other color than jet black, purely because there is no atmosphere and there are no oceans to make the sky reflective and blue. So when the sun is coming in directly, you're not going to be able to see the stars anyway. If you've got a light source right in front of you, you can't see stars behind it at all.
I completely agree. Yeah. My thought on that was the sky is blue because it goes through like the atmosphere, and it's like a wet atmosphere, so it's very moist, so it literally reflects and prisms off of everything, and it kind of causes that blue effect. Now we don't know if it is blue, but we perceive it as blue. With the moon landing photos, right, that was in 1969. The camera is not going to pick up any light source other than what's essentially being shown in any foreground. It's not like a Samsung fucking phone where you can take a picture of the moon and see the definition of it. It's 1960 fucking 9. Right, they're walking around with a camera the size of like an old 80s television to take fucking pictures. They're not going to see any shit on the moon. They're going to see anything.
Travel. It's black and white. That's not because the world was black and white. It's because that's all they had.
But you go to the moon, you turn black and white. Colour is an absence.
Oh, look at this lovely filter. Let me take out the light source from behind. Oh yeah, absolute sack of shit. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, so there's that, and the fact that it's actually shot during the day, because they could never be on the moon, on the side of the moon that is cast as nighttime, because they literally, like, you wouldn't be able to see anything whatsoever. The amount of light sources you would need to do that would be monumental. But you wouldn't be able to do it.
The dark side of the moon for a reason. Plus, it's
exactly
like sub-zero temperatures. They would die instantly.
Yeah,
there's no atmosphere to retain any heat.
All right, another aspect they say, this is called, have you ever heard of Vol-Allen radiation belt?
Actually, no.
Either had I. So apparently there's a bit of our atmosphere that captures Earth's radiation.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think, anyway, from what I read.
Okay.
So atmosphere and radiation particles from the sun meet at a section of the ozone layer, I guess.
Yep.
And it becomes like a little blanket kind of thing of
Yeah.
pure radiation that if anyone was in it, they'll die.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
It does make sense. And it is real. Like, it's a thing. There is a belt of radiation there. It's science. Science is lies. So there's a lot of naysayers that are like, yeah, but if there's a belt of radiation, they'll die. So go through it. So I get that. You should be like, oh yeah, I've seen Chernobyl, do you know what I mean? Hello, stay away from radiation and stuff. But scientists have like completely disproved it, and they've disproved it by calling it the firewalking method.
Okay. All right. Okay. I like that.
Yeah. So you can only for example, with Chernobyl, some people didn't die from it. Some people did. Some people took ages. Some people didn't, because it's down to rate and time of pure exposure.
Yep.
So if we put that into like burning coals on the floor, you're going to do some firewalking, right? If you run across it, you're not going to burn your feet. You're
not really.
Like,
You'll be like Fred Flintstone across those coals.
Yeah. Like, exactly. And you're not going to get any heat. But if you just fucking stood there, they're going to burn. They're going to burn hard and fast.
Yeah.
So the scientists are saying they're literally in that kind of like bubble or whatever, that belt, for a minimal amount of time that they don't actually receive any radiation from it. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Of course it does. I mean, like, they're going into space where there's radiation like all around them. It's incredibly radioactive. So, like, they're probably protected by all the fucking shit that NASA had put around them anyway. So
the radiation suits, the space suits, the spaceship,
the ship itself. Yeah, like
it's not like Star Trek where they just beam down in their own clothes. Like, another one. This is my favourite one. So I know a couple of people that really do believe that it's
There's
not real.
more people than you think that do believe it is fake.
Yeah, so many. But one of them, the same question always comes up. Well, why haven't we gone back? Why haven't we gone back? There's fuck all there. Like, what is there? There's nothing. There's nothing but shit. Like, it's just dust and holes and dark and cold. There's no atmosphere. I know they've recently sent a probe up there to see if there's some water. Like, because we're going to fucking run out of water down here. We haven't been back because there's no point. What is the purpose? And when so that space race ended, but then they were making plans to go back again and again and again. But then they thought, nah, fuck it. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll make the International Space Station instead. Yeah. And that's like kind of what they did. They're like, let's actually do something important and work towards that and put our resources in on that.
No,
Who
that
wants
makes
to go and
complete
play
sense.
the back nine of a fucking golf course on the moon? No one cares.
It's true. It's true. There's no need to go back to the moon. And as like time has progressed and instruments and technology has got better, we can see the moon. We can see everything on it. We can literally scan it, our satellites, all this stuff. Like, there's no need.
Yeah.
No.
What's the point?
It's a rock of shite. Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Just give up with it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you get your Samsung phone out, you can still see their footprints up there anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So they say.
Yeah. Another thing as well, actually, due to the photos. So, the picture of the waving flag.
Yeah, the wind. Right. Oh, the moon wind. Yeah.
So I wish I didn't actually save the photo. The photo is, so the top of the flag is perfectly straight.
Of course.
And it goes down, and then the flag's like in the wind.
It looks like it's, yeah.
It looks like it's blowing in the wind, doesn't it? Well, because there is no atmosphere there, and there is no wind, a flag would never remain upright. So what they actually had to do with the flag when they built it, there's a tiny, almost like a fishing rod at the top, that the top of the flag is attached to. Like a shower fucking curtain, basically. Is literally what it is to hold it upright so they can take a fucking photo of it. The flag isn't in the wind. It's not blown in the wind. It's crumpled.
Yep.
It's literally creases and it's crumpled because it's been stored on a fucking rocket that's gone into space.
You're like, who
So
folded this?
yeah, it's not like folded up neatly. It's
No.
like fucking get that in there.
It's crumpled in, yeah.
Yeah, it's crumpled in. Fucking grow
Yeah.
up.
No, it's not. Doesn't move or anything. No, gravity is like trying to pull it down,
Yeah.
but because gravity is less on the moon, it's just like doing nothing really. No,
It's not even moving.
No.
It's literally not moving. It's just crumpled because it's been in transit from another fucking planet. Like, it's travelled quite a bit and it's held upright at the top. Like, that's it.
I was gonna bring.
Like,
Yeah, I was originally gonna do the moon landing for the first conspiracy
were
one.
you? Oh,
I thought it
what
was
else have
really
you got for it then?
well because a big part of who they think filmed the moon landing, all the photography, the videos and stuff, was a famous director at the time anyway. So Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley
So
Kubrick.
they thought
What, was
Stanley
he on the moon?
Right, get
How
Stanley
he-
up there because
Yeah,
he knows his
Stanley,
stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Stanley, do you know? Are you okay with G-force? Who cares? Look at me with a camera.
He would have been in any state. He was a big lad. But yeah, Stanley Kubrick was like he filmed it a lot in like LA, and supposedly there were people who had like NDAs or non-disclosure agreements to
Right.
talk about all this stuff. So they were there, very minimal crew. Like the set was all laid out, and he was supposed to like to win the space race. Like there was going to be no way that NASA were ready to beat Russia. So
Right.
they had to get a jump on it and used Hollywood magic to try to like say, well, we've landed on the moon, we've done all this. Like, are you amazed?
Your mum.
Yeah. But to disprove all of that stuff, like one, it didn't happen, and Stanley Kubrick was just
Yeah.
like, I don't know what you're talking about.
He was
Two,
fucking busy. He was making like films, man.
it feels like The Shining. He's got stuff in his. He's busy.
Clockwork Orange, fuck's sake.
Exactly. Thousands of people watched the rocket go through the atmosphere, literally. So,
Yeah.
like, you know, it's not going to just go into the upper atmosphere and not come back for a while. That's not how it would work.
Yeah.
And three, it was all just bollocks anyway. Like, it was just probably propaganda that was spouted out at the time to say, well, America didn't really do it.
Yeah.
Because all the other stuff, like, there was loads of other shit going on. JFK made a big promise about it all, like, oh yeah, we're going to beat the Russians, we're going to get there first, all this stuff. So it had to kind of be done.
They
but
had to win.
yeah, that had stuck in people's minds from that time. But genuinely, NASA pulled the thumb out their arse and actually
Got the
like,
job
did
done.
something. Yeah.
Like, yeah, they just did it.
Yeah.
like they just did it. Like,
Just
just
did it.
Right, so the next one, you know, do you remember in the last one we spoke about the royal family? And we were a little bit concerned that we might get murdered.
Yes. So in the
Yeah.
first Conspiracies episode, it was about their links to our Lord and Savior Count Dracula. Yeah.
And we, you know, when we were making that episode, we were like, oh fuck. Like, you know, we're like, oh, should we do
It's
this?
such a
Should we
good
do
big
this?
name, yeah. Little-
Yeah. But we did it because I said, yeah, we're gonna do it. No. Like, so
Yeah.
we're gonna do it.
I'm going to take the risk. Who's going to listen to the
Yeah.
podcast anyway?
That's it. Now I've got a few more listeners listening to this. So we're gonna talk about Princess Diana.
Oh no, Rob! This one was bad. I said we could do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
But
All right.
I'm hosting now, bitch.
All right. I'm in.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna talk about Princess Diana
Oh.
because, like, you know,
Queen
Why
of
not?
Hearts. Our Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts. Indeed. let's reframe. Let's get back in the mood. Just put ourselves in the moments because I know you have to have dates, times, numbers, weather. That's
It's all
your
right.
thing.
It was 1997. I know.
It was 1997.
know.
Well done, Paul. It's
Yeah.
the 31st of August.
Yeah.
That's a bank holiday.
It is a bank holiday. I remember.
I don't know if it's a bank holiday in France where she died, and it was and it was lovely, brilliant weather. I don't know what the fucking weather was. I don't care. So the big conspiracy, a lot of those conspiracy rumors were actually started, I guess, from Mr. Al Fayed.
Okay. Daddy Al Fayed.
Yeah. Some call him Al Fayed. So, Mr. Al Fayed, there are a lot of links. He had a few issues. He basically said that the royal family murdered them for several reasons. One of the reasons that he decided to put forward was that Princess Diana was pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I
So he
have
was
heard
like,
that one.
yeah, so Al Fayed also claimed Princess Diana was pregnant with Dodi,
Dodi.
his son.
I remember.
Baby.
Okay.
His theory was fueled by a 2003 article in The Independent citing an unnamed senior French police source suggesting a cover-up of the pregnancy.
Okay.
So he's like, she was fucking pregnant. You've killed her, you cunts. And then apparently, like a senior French police officer's gone like, yeah, she was pregnant.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. There's a quick stop there.
Right.
What would the ramifications be if she was pregnant with Dodi Al Fayed's child at that time? Because she was divorced at that time, wasn't she?
She was divorced, yeah, but she was obviously still someone of like a massive importance to the royal family because she was like the common arrow in their bow. Do you know what I mean?
All right. Yeah.
She was a connection with that. One of the big reasons is because Mr. Al Fayed had massive links with the British Secret Service, didn't he? And he, at some times, genuinely, he was under investigation for potential arms dealing, like illegal. So apparently, a lot of his money came from illegally transporting arms to certain countries.
Shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
in the eyes to benefit the monarchy.
Okay. To benefit the monarchy. So he was helping the monarchy in a way.
Arming certain rebels and stuff with guns and stuff. The
global monopoly of war, like the placement of power. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
didn't he own Harrods?
Yeah, he did. He just,
was it like little army toy guns? Like those ones you get pound
chill.
Yeah, like the little flash that happens in the little red plastic. British Army.
I love those fucking things. It's so cool. Yeah. Apparently that's how he earned a lot of money doing that. Apparently, I don't fucking believe that one little bit.
Not fucking Tony Stark, is he?
No, he's not Tony Stark. He sells really expensive soap.
Made not from the fat of his enemies.
Yeah. Libya, I'll give you some AK-47s if I can have some fat of your enemies. Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, it would have looked bad, wouldn't it, for the royal family? It could be like, oh, Princess Diana, her womb's full, is it?
That's it. That's what the Queen said when she found out.
Oh, Diana, it seems your womb is full right now.
Thank you, Doctor of High Importance and Knowledge. Yes.
I also think because Dodi was of a different ethnicity as well to Diana, it would have cast a bit of shame on them as well. Like, as in commonly we now in recent times with Markle, what's her first name?
Meghan Markle, yeah.
Meghan Markle, yeah, you know, you can see it. You can see it being a thing. Possibly. Don't quote me on it.
No.
Right, yeah, so.
Never saw her once.
No. Obviously not. Fools. Another thing that Al Fayed poured so much fucking money into doing this, like finding these little bits of information and whatnot. Another thing was the CCTV cameras in the tunnel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there are 4 fucking cameras in the Pont du Lumière underpass, which is the bridge.
Yeah.
There are 14 of these cameras. They don't That'd be like entry going through it on the outside, because there's like roads over the top as well. So it could be cameras that don't necessarily be in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Around
But
it
we're
anyway,
tracking. Yeah, that
Yeah.
need to be there in case anybody breaks down in the tunnel. So they need to see, so they can. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Or if there's any like those bastard kids skateboarding down there.
They're skateboarding, they're doing some graffiti down there. Get them.
Yeah, you need cameras, fuck's
You
sake.
need cameras.
It's
It's good.
1997.
Exactly.
But there is literally zero footage of the crash happening. There's zero footage of it, and that is absolutely fucking ridiculous. There's even so if you have cameras, you can estimate speed of travel. It's like if you got 14
speed equals distance over time. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Take that.
And they could not guarantee. Nobody could actually guarantee the actual speed of the vehicle traveling. So when they're like, "Oh yeah, he was fucking speeding. He was pissed and speeding," they're like, "Was he? Don't know." Like, how fast was he going then if he's speeding? But you do know.
Was it because they supposedly they were speeding through the tunnel trying to get away from paparazzi on on bikes. So and if I believe there was some images of the car afterwards that looked like it crashed into a pillar in the middle of the tunnel, and it looked pretty tragic. But however, the bodyguard who was in the front, who was driving, I think Diana's bodyguard,
Paul.
Yeah, he survived. So if he was in the most battered part of the car,
and why was he? He had a seatbelt on, and he was the only one that had the seatbelt on.
Okay.
So the driver didn't. The other two in the back, like they were obviously doing pregnancy tests and talking about baby names, like in the back. So we don't need seatbelts. We're going through this baby name book.
I got to lean over. We got to look at Is Harry taken? Oh, it's too late for that one.
Harry, James. Were the paparazzi involved? No, you mentioned about the bikes.
Yes.
Bikes. These, from what I know, they're like little fucking moped bikes.
Yeah.
They go about 30 miles an hour tops. Like, genuinely, they go 30 miles an hour tops. Why are you speeding to get away from something that is barely moving? Like, we could run faster than that fucking thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like 30 miles an hour in England. Like, if someone is actually driving 30 miles an hour, people are beeping at him.
People are beeping.
Like, they're like, fucking move. Come on. That's the opposite of speeding. It's the literal opposite of speeding.
With these paparazzi as well, there'd be the driver and there'd be the photographer sitting on the back. Like they wouldn't go fast for risk of whatever. Like I don't know. They wouldn't be speeding.
They wouldn't be speeding. They wouldn't be able to. It'd be like Death Stranded. You're trying to deliver a package. You got hefty fucking mass on the back. How are you gonna ever speed?
No, little bump. You got to press both buttons. Stay upright.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, there's so much to it. But that's all that I wrote down. So
okay. Now, this is a touchy subject, but is it really? Because it's been a very long time. So I think this was just an accident that had happened, and a lot of conspiracy can easily come out of it. I don't think there is anything untoward or malicious. It just seems like the players involved in the story could cause somebody to create these highly heightened dramatic storylines, with arms dealing and offing Princess Di because she's having a baby with a guy from another country, or all this stuff. It seems fantastical, but it's not realistic. It was just, I don't know. Supposedly the tunnel was empty. There is questions about what actually happened. you know. But it is France. Like the roads can go one way and then just turn another way straight away, like and then go back
It's
on themselves.
France, not fucking Hogwarts. What's wrong with you? You don't
Staircases
like
move.
start going down a tunnel and then it suddenly goes, nope, you're gonna go up here now.
I don't
A
think
tunnel's a tunnel, man.
no, I don't think she was assassinated in any way. I think it was
If
just
she was gonna be assassinated, they would have done it a way more fucking like cleaner way. Do you know what I mean? It's a real family. They ain't fucking about. And also, like, if they're worried about her being pregnant with a man's baby that isn't King Charles, like, you know,
yeah, a
like,
bit late already for
bit
that.
Harry. Do you know what I mean?
Like the
Let's
guy that
really
is
be
in,
honest.
he's literally still within your like social circles, and
Yeah.
he plays polo like with them. After
He was their
knobbing her.
coach. Yeah. Oh, this kid looks familiar. Nothing to do with me.
Another tennis lesson with James today, darling. Oh,
Yeah.
we are so busy.
Yeah, imagine if like Camilla fucking sprouts one out that looks exactly like him as well.
Oh God, just imagine.
Right, the next one I want to talk about. This is quite funny. This started off as it's not meant to it's not real. Like everybody knows it's not real. And it was created as like a social media experiment. That's
Mhm.
literally all it was. And it was like a couple of guys who were trying to prove their point that how damaging that social media can have an effect on fake news
Yeah.
and misinformation. And that was the theory that birds aren't real. Have you ever heard of this?
I've heard of it. I've seen videos. I've seen lots of stuff. Yeah.
Have you? It's
Drones,
fucked up.
birds
Yeah.
stuck in the sky, like not moving. I've seen it all. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's mental, isn't it?
It doesn't make sense.
It literally doesn't make sense. And the beauty of it is that the guys, so a chap called Peter Mockindo, like he's like, yeah, birds aren't real, guys. This is why. As a fucking joke. It's like a proof that social media is so toxic. And the rest of the world, America, like grabbed it and fucked it so hard that they just like went, didn't they?
They did.
Absolutely genius. And then when he later on came out as like, lol, it was a joke. Like these guys are still like, no, it isn't. Like you're wrong. It's like I've made it up, man. Like I've made it up. Fuck's sake. There's that one, which I just found that really, really funny. That was only like a quick little chat about that because it's not really you can't really say too much about it.
No, I mean, no. There's. I mean, if anybody's interested, just you can Google it. You'll see some of the videos. Some of them are just like outrageous. Like they don't make much sense.
I see. No, it really fucking tickled me. Another one that tickled me is, I think you would know about this. You know about all of these, like you always do, because you literally wank off to this stuff.
I do love it.
So, the protocols of the elders of Zion.
Okay, no, I don't know.
No,
this.
really. Basically, there's a book called The Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion.
Yes.
Now, this is a book created, but it's a hoaxed book. So it's basically made from pure propaganda.
Okay.
And it is the most anti-Semitic fucking book that has ever been written in time. It was first appeared in Russia. And the book is about Jewish conspiracy, where Jewish people are going to achieve world dominance.
Okay.
Right, so they're going to infiltrate the entire world globally in every single angle that they can. So this book was first appeared in Russia in 1905.
Okay.
Right. Described how Christians' morality, finances, and health would be targeted by small groups of powerful Jews. Please bear in mind that this book is a complete hoax.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
The anti-Semitic idea that there was a Jewish conspiracy was nothing new, of course, but it's been repeated by many prominent people. So, this book that was created by Russian propaganda ship has been used as evidence for mistreatment towards Jewish people by a couple of famous people. One of them's Henry Ford.
The guy that created the Ford
Ford.
motor car. Yeah.
Apparently he referenced it a fuck ton. Another guy called Mel Gibson.
Oh, Sugar Tits Gibson himself.
Yeah, he's believed this to be gospel and he's used it often. So yeah, Henry Ford in 1920, he actually paid to have 500,000 copies of this book published, and in 1930, somebody else got hold of this book. Somebody else used this book.
That's where I've heard it from before.
Yeah. In 1930, the book was used by the Nazis as justification for its genocide against Jews. So the Nazi party were using it, and they were like, yeah, this is fucking true. All of it started from just this bunch of cunts in Russia in 1905.
No, really?
They've just made this book, yeah. So even Adolf Hitler used this book in reference in his book, Mein Kampf.
Yeah.
So, like, in his whole totalitarian, like, book, his whole ethos, his whole reasons behind doing everything, his path to whatever he was trying to achieve, he's fucking directly using this book as evidence for it.
My God.
And it was bollocks. So it makes you think, like, if it was never invented, would those things ever happen? Do you know? Would Mel Gibson have made Passion of the Christ? Do you know what I mean?
Is that the first thing you think of? I mean, would World War II have happened?
Passion of the Christ, great film, yeah, but it's a bit preachy.
It's really preachy.
It's a bit messagey.
I don't like the Jews too much in it, really. They're evil.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. Although, can I? Because, again, in the previous one, a book that essentially was written, like, flippantly ended up forming its own, like, conspiracy out of it. Except this one has been really dangerous. So the previous one was about the Illuminati and this book. This one had reached influential people who had used it to persecute a whole race of people.
Yeah, and it's still it's literally still circulated now. Like, people are still using this as reference, and like, it's just fucking mental. Like, it's obscene.
This is the danger of propaganda in general. Is if it reaches the right audience, much like any fake news, you can't change these people's minds after they've been told even a modicum of the fact in it.
Yeah.
Because they've made their mind up. They can't change it. Like, like Donald Trump is a good president and he'll do stuff. That was not true at all. But people were told enough because the spin on it was so good.
Yeah, and he's getting another look at.
He is, isn't he?
It's quite a lot to say. It's like with humans, mainly human psychology, is that the first bit of information that we receive, that's the one that we keep. Like, that's the one that we then harbour reference to in arguments against, to or fro, from other evidence preceding it. So if if you think, oh yeah, the sky's green, if that's the first thing you've told, that colour is actually green, you're going to believe that till you fucking die. And then you have to find evidence to fight against that.
Yep.
Mental. Like, me and you, like, we love Final Fantasy games.
Yep.
The first one that I majorly played was Final Fantasy 7. That's my favourite. The first one you majorly played was Final Fantasy 8, and that's your favourite, and you're a cunt.
So much better on many levels.
No, you're wrong. See? This one is quite, like, relative, I think, because it was everywhere in the 80s and the 90s. This next one. This is the Satanic Panic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what, like the news, literally, like Satan's everywhere. Kids are hanging around graveyards and they're worshipping Satan. Like, this man, he loves Satan. He's killed people. His name's Richard. Like,
Oh, he went to the Cecil Hotel. He's a lunatic. He's a Satanist. He killed people. He killed people because he fucking killed people. Because he's a fucking twisted cunt.
He loved it.
Yeah, so in the 80s and 90s, again, this only happened in America. In England, like, it didn't really have much pull in England. No one really gave a
No.
fuck.
I mean, it did
over
happen in the 80s and 90s in England, but more like the 1580s and the 1590s.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. Very true. Oh, he's listening to Ozzy Osbourne. Hang him.
There was a little bit of controversy actually in the UK, but it was
There's a
nowhere
bit.
near the heightened panic in America.
Yeah. The media fucking circus around it, the absolute witch hunt. So for years, during the 80s and the 90s, America became convinced an underground network of Satanists was working together to kidnap, torture, and abuse children. So that's kind of like what they were selling. I don't remember it being about kids, but because I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's heavy metal on TV. Yay.
Yeah.
Like,
Mum, can we watch Kerrang? No, you can't.
The devil.
The Lost Prophets are on there.
So basically, none of it was real. There wasn't a satanist fucking underground movement of Satanists. And if it was going to be the case, they're not going to use these like little fucking teenagers knocking about on skateboards with dyed black hair to try and like change the world. I don't
No. Like, speaking from experience, we grew up in a time where like the new metal movement came out.
Yeah.
And that kind of influenced some of our listening habits after that. We wore baggy jeans, maybe, we listened to Marilyn Manson or Mudvayne. And, sometimes Michael Moore stole my book because I wrote some words on it and then, they were deaf words. And then I had to, get it covered with wallpaper. Thank you, Mrs. Sheridan.
Fuck you, Mrs. Sheridan.
It didn't mean that I was going to shoot the school up.
Do you remember we were called baby eaters?
Yeah.
It's
Like,
like,
they got deaf toes. What are you
deaf
talking
toes. Oh, you're toe deaf. But the pinnacle of the main guy that they were using in the media to really fucking push this agenda hard was Geraldo Riviera. Did you know him? Like the guy with the hair?
Geraldo, yeah.
Yeah,
He's like a
Geraldo
talk show
Rivera.
host, yeah.
That's him, like the PC Jerry Springer, basically.
Yeah.
So he did an NBC special called Devil Worship, Exposing Satan's Underground. This aired in 1988. So he relied on self-proclaimed Satanist experts. So these experts coming into the field. Basically, they're linking Satanism to Dungeons and Dragons, right? Like heavy metal music to Ozzy Osbourne, Iron Maiden. It's quite funny because I made the reference earlier that it didn't really kick off in England too much, even though all of these things were fucking English.
Yeah.
You got these English, hair metal bands coming out and stuff. These bands, they're all English.
Of course.
But we're not doing that over here. We're like,
No.
oh yes, Iron Maiden, innit?
Yeah. They've got a nice ditty. Love AC/DC.
Yeah, and that's kind of it, really. It's fucking absolutely mental.
It's a generational thing, though, isn't it? There was a big change in generational culture. So people growing up in the 60s and 70s, alternative music was on the rise, right? Alternative music was really good, but it was nothing more than the Allman Brothers or Stillwater and Nash sort of thing. It was kind of that southern folky stuff, right? And then all of a sudden you get actual gain and reverb on guitars, and then all of a sudden people are crunching it and making we're fucking mental. And they didn't like that, so they were like, "It's really just people saying turn down the damn music," and then saying Satan was involved in it.
Exactly. Yeah. Just say, can you keep the volume down, please? Like the Beatles, when they played their first, I'm pretty sure this is correct. They played their first gig. No, not the Beatles. Bob Dylan played one of his first gigs in Germany, and he used electric guitar and pickup. And he got booed off stage and he got asked to leave. They had to cancel the fucking gig because they were like, you're sending out the wrong messages. It's the same words, mate. Same words.
Yeah.
like a rolling stone.
Like, fuck off. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you remember about August the 10th, 2019?
August the 10th, 2019.
Any ideas what this could be?
I have no idea. Like August 10th, 2019. Other than COVID, I have no idea.
I mean, numbers mean nothing to me.
I think,
Like,
well, to be fair, because I think that was the sort of like time where stuff was happening at the beginning of COVID. So,
was it?
so things were happening there, but it was really 2020 that kind of it all
But that
kicked
was
off.
in Italy, so no one cared.
Okay.
Right, someone died in 2019. A big fucking death that has rocked the world. Not because of this man's death, but because of his whole entire story. And that is one Mr. Jeffrey Epstein.
Fucking hell, Rob.
I told you.
You said we'd never. Okay. Right.
Yeah, right. Hold on. We said we'd never do Diana.
Yeah.
Right. We'd never do 9/11, and
Yeah.
that was close. I'm not gonna lie. I stopped myself doing that one. I really fucking did because I was like, oh, we could just go for that. And then Epstein. Yeah, but Epstein. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Okay.
right. So he's found unresponsive in his Metropolitan Correctional Centre jail cell where he was awaiting trial for new trafficking sex charges.
Yes.
So previously, 2010, I think, he was like charged up to his fucking eyeballs for diddling and
Yes.
sex trafficking, but he got away with it. Basically, he didn't go to prison, but he went to jail, and he was let out. I think it was 14 hours a day. He was allowed out of the jail to work. So it was like office jail, 14 hours a day. So it's like,
That's
he was
just
only
free
in
anyway. He went to
jail.
bed. Yeah.
Yeah, he went to fucking bed, had a coffee, read a book, slept. That's what he did. Yeah, so he was in jail waiting to go to court about that, and yeah, he killed himself, didn't he?
Well, that's what they say. Yeah.
Did he? Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah, so there's so much fucking conspiracy around not him. We all know what he did. He was a complete fucker. Like, we all know what he did. We all know what him and his little mates did. We all know what Stephen Hawkins did. We all know.
Well, let's just say the people on the roster to go to his island, they will be looked at individually.
But they didn't go there to play Uno, did they?
Well, no, they went to that little fucking massage house at the base of the island.
It's like a light. You've got this lovely, massive, beautiful island, beautiful area and stuff. What's going on in that little shed? So, quite a few people say that it wasn't suicide.
Yes, I've heard. Yeah, it was definitely an inside job.
Yeah. Now, this to me, I 100% believe it. Like,
yes,
I
do as well.
Believe. This man, he had too much to be alive. Yeah, there's no way that this man was going to be remaining alive. No way on hell.
No, he could have topped himself at any time during any of those accusations. He never did. He was always deemed like, I'm too untouchable, even to the point where he was incarcerated for all that stuff. It wouldn't have mattered too much. He would have been comfortable living out his life in his solitude. He was so narcissistic, he couldn't kill himself. He wouldn't be able to. Yeah.
He physically wouldn't be. He didn't want to. He loved himself so much. He thought he was so much above the entire world that he couldn't die. Like, as simple as that. There's no way that he would have done it. And there are too many reasons for him to be killed off by elsewhere. So there's zero video footage. So the cell that he was held in, because a couple of days before, he had apparently attempted suicide a couple of days before. So then he was moved to a suicide secure cell.
Yes.
Basically what happened, he got beaten a fuck out of.
Yeah,
in
most
another
likely.
cell.
Yeah.
And they thought, oh, yeah, all right, he's dead. That's fucking Scarpa. Or like, someone interrupted what was happening and they ran off.
Yeah.
And then he probably said, oh yeah, tried to commit suicide, put me somewhere safe. And they're like, yeah, we'll fucking put you somewhere safe, mate. So in these suicide cells, there are cameras everywhere.
Yep.
Like in the cells, they watched him have a shit. They
Yep.
you've watched the program on Netflix, 60 Days Inside or whatever.
Yeah.
They're having a shit and they're on camera. There are cameras
Yeah.
everywhere. There's literally no footage of this happening.
How
of
very
him
interesting.
taking his own life. Yeah. It was also supposed to be on like a 20-minute guard watch. So every 20 minutes, a guard would literally physically look in the cell. None of that was recorded for about 4 hours, like before and after the reputed 4 hours in total, like around that time. Nobody signed the paperwork, and they put that down to like lack of staff.
Okay.
Like, oh yeah, Terry fucking phoned in sick, didn't he? The cunt. Yeah, the Super Bowl's on. Oh, convenient.
Yeah.
There's a big poker game tonight, and the boys took it out.
So yeah,
it's suspicious of the opportunity to be able to do it. Right.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so we know that it can be done, that someone can murder. Right, so we know that there were availability to do it.
Yeah.
But who did it?
Yes.
That's the thing. This fucking list of people that would want him dead is astronomical, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, no one actually really technically knows where his money came from. So this guy was like a billionaire, fucking billionaire.
Like,
He
horrendously rich.
Like, unbelievably rich, this man. And he came from like an impoverished family. So his mum and dad were like shopkeepers or whatever. Like they just some minimum wage jobs or whatever. And he became this massively rich person.
In the 90s, he was on Wall Street, so he was like an investor of some description. That's supposedly the start of how he made his money. But I don't know, his successes in Wall Street led him to be a financier and help befriend these people.
That's it.
So yeah, he became their confidant as well as you're holding this multi-millionaire's or billionaire's money. There's going to be more about that person. So Epstein definitely had not just people's money in his pocket.
Yeah,
there's secrets as well.
There's secrets, and that's what they're saying, that he received one payment of $500 million from a company that he was employed by called like WedX, something like that. Anyway, and that is the one real big traceable financial reclamation that he ever received. Other than that, you can't find his money. You can't, it's not in any of his fucking bank accounts. It's not really in any of his properties and stuff. It's just around places. It kind of looks like that he was actually, if he phoned somebody and said, right, I want some money now, they would have to give it to him then, and he would spend it.
Yeah.
So he didn't ever have this huge amount of money in one hit. He owned properties and stuff.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So yeah, he was blackmailing people. He was blackmailing the richest people in the world. And for them, it would be like a couple of quid. But for him, it's like fucking 500 million here, 500 million there.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of political stuff about this. So two people that he was in good friendships with.
Yeah.
One of them, Mr. Trump.
Yeah. Well documented. Yeah.
Very well documented forever. Like the conversations that they've had about fucking women.
Yeah.
It's just
there's an article that Trump did about Epstein, and he was like something quoted saying like, oh, like he loves women as almost as much as I do, but he likes them a little on the young side. Yeah.
It's disgusting. So he's just got a Republican there. Donald Trump's always been a Republican.
Yes.
Forever. Even before he was in politics. He's always been a lobbyist or an investment. But Mr. Jeffrey also had his fingers in pies on the other side, didn't he?
The Clinton pie.
The Clinton pie.
Yeah.
So he's got both sides. He's obviously deliberately put himself in a political aspect where he cannot ever fucking lose.
You're right. You're right.
So
Absolutely.
it wouldn't matter like what party is actually in power. He's always going to be fucking winning. Like
Yeah.
he can't lose. He could never lose. He'd never back a losing horse almost. So he's obviously got all this black man on both sides of this fence. Yeah.
Do you think he even had any money?
I don't think he ever had any of his actual own money. Like, well, he did. He had this 500 million, which was this one direct payment to his bank account from this finance company that he was actually working for. So he had a contract with them. He
So
was
it's
actually
like a
working for them.
consultancy like payout, really, like 500 million for
Yeah.
consultancy for a period of time or whatever. That might have been his
Yeah.
only recordable job.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, but the rest
He
of
was
his
a
like
teacher as well before. So he was a teacher
okay.
before he was in Wall Street. He was a teacher. But even that's fucking weird because he flunked out of college, so he didn't even get his like qualifications to become a teacher. And then fast forward like a year, he is a teacher, and he left that and he got into finances and stuff. Yeah,
Master
so
of the flag. Like the thing
so,
is, like
yeah.
because there wasn't really many like interviews or anything, I don't even really know what he sounds like. Like, and I've watched quite a bit of stuff about him, and I've never heard his voice.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anything of him, like, you know, anything before, like maybe
All
the
this
like,
shit
mid
came out.
90s. Yeah. Like, there's nothing back from there. Don't know anything about his life. Even then,
Yeah.
know anything about his life.
Yeah. It's just deliberately always under the radar. Like, always completely under the radar because he's blackmailing the fuck out of everyone.
Do you think then, because he's one of those people that kind of pull the strings, do you think he was like, you know, where we have talked about like the New World Order and stuff before, and we said it's all bots and rah 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 rah, other than the fact it could be more of like a financial gain, hostile takeovers and all this other stuff. He was possibly part of that, but because of his own perverse interests, it led to his downfall. So other people are doing this, but they're not into like, you know, massages from preteen girls. Like, or maybe they are. They're better at hiding it. I don't know, but like he's part of that group. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Could
The
be.
whole
I
thing
think like,
just weirds me out with him.
It fucking is. It's really fucking weird. Like how he got that famous. And is it Gillian Maxwell?
Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah.
Yeah, so she is the daughter of Maxwell Forbes. Is it Forbes Maxwell or something like that?
Someone very influentially
like
English.
Publishing house.
Yeah,
like a huge like news publishing house as well. How did he become friends with her? Why is he friends with her? And like during that time as well, journalism, especially in England through those years, was fucked up. Like
it was fierce.
Tapping people's phones. They're like going through people's rubbish. They're doing all this shit. They're gathering all this information on people, and then it could possibly be Jeffrey's getting a little whisper that.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, Jeffrey, look what I've heard about fucking."
So he had
Andrew.
He had everything to lose then, really, because in that sense, he's in a place. Like, how long can these people that he's blackmailing sit by and wait to see if he actually buckles and reveals his secrets? They'd be kaput.
Yeah.
So any of these influential people, he had to be murdered.
He had to be murdered. But it's kind of like, who fucking did it? You've got, you've got the Clintons, you've got the Trumps, you've got the royal family, for fuck's sake, because of Prince Andrew.
They've got a track record, don't they? Oh.
But then you could have anyone that's rich.
I reckon it was Ollie Murs. He had a lot to lose.
Like, what song did he do?
I don't know. It was on The Voice for a bit, I guess, but you know, that failed.
Maybe it was like Dermot O'Leary.
He's been around forever. He's ageless. Yeah.
He is immortal.
He is.
There's no way that was suicide. Like as you said before, he's too narcissistic. He was never going to fucking do that.
No. There's no way. He might have contemplated it. He might have even got close with putting like a noose around himself, but he wouldn't have been able to do it. He couldn't possibly bring himself to do it. He loved himself too much.
Yeah. And that's all my work done.
What?
Yeah.
I'm mightily impressed.
No, you're not.
I am. There's some good
fucking
ones.
hell, I'm sweating. Man.
There's serious ones there for sure. I hope that the listeners, the humbleites, the humble listeners, have enjoyed maybe a deeper, more serious tone to the episode, and it does make them think, which is really good. But yeah, no, well done, Rob. I'm very proud of you.
Thanks,
hard.
Dad.
It's so hard. To round the episode off, though, Rob, I know we've heard some of your serious ones about doppelganging celebrities and Jeffrey Epstein and French tunnels. So yeah, that's the end of the episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Rob, for guiding us through these conspiracies. I feel now.
Thank you for listening.
It was I like the way it was. It was more like these conspiracies are bullshit, but I'm going to tell you what they are. Yeah, that's how we
Apart
do
from
it.
Jeffrey Epstein one, that's real. There's roots in that.
That really happened. If you have any conspiracies of your own, we'll ask you again now later on in our my humble opinion career to send them in to us. What do you believe? Leave something like is Rishi Sunak a robot? Is Disneyland really just a front for meth? These types of things. Tell us what you think. We'd be more than happy.
Tell us all about Denver Airport.
Yeah,
because I've read all of that.
Yeah. One for the Illuminati. It's just a blue horse.
Blue horse with red eyes. It's just weird.
It's just weird. It's
Go
somebody
to
having
Tate Modern. Tell me what that is. There.
What about that robot pushing blood around? Like, what does that represent? So keep listening.
Childhood trauma. That's what that fucking represents.
Yeah, the man who rubs his face on a rock for 15 hours a day. Next week we have our second part of our adventure special episode.
Yeah, boy.
Once again, Rob doesn't have any clue about what the story may be, the outcome may be of his decisions. If we remember, his character Seraphine Stormcloak was left in a tavern, having the filthiest time with the people of ill repute in there, and tavern is going to be open when he.
I believe that we were like outside whilst it's getting fumigated. I believe.
The owner's pretty upset. And then we'll see when his story takes him next. I believe there's a librarian that he has to kind of get in contact with for the next part of information. We shall see. Does he have any more pink wafers left to bargain with? I don't know. I don't think so now. So yeah, listen to that episode. If you do love, in my humble opinion, please share the podcast on your social media. You can contact us on social media as well. If you tag us in any of your posts, just to say, listen to my social opinion. In my social opinion, listen to in my humble opinion. You'll love it, and then tag us in it as well. We'll give you a shout out on the episode.
Yeah.
Like our posts and stuff like that. So yeah, like, share as per usual. I have been Paul.
Oh, I've been Rob. You nearly said Rob then, didn't you?
I nearly did. Yeah. And you've been listening to Rob's Conspiracy Special in my humble opinion podcast. Take care now. Bye.
You have been listening to the In My Humble Opinion podcast. Conspiracies again? Join us on Instagram by searching @humbleopinions_podcast or TikTok by searching @InMyHumbleOpinionPodcast or viewing us on YouTube by searching In My Humble Opinion Pod, or one word.